Welcome in, welcome in. How's everybody doing today? Miss Thomasina, Miss Melissa. How is it going? Thanks. I like it with the beanie. I just felt like doing it today, so I ended up doing it this morning. How's everybody doing today? We're just getting logged in, closing out this Sunday with some good energy before everyone tries to fearmonger the eclipse away. Woo-wee. That is on some bullshit. Welcome in, welcome in. Woo, how's everybody doing today? We are just getting started. You have not missed anything. The list is open today. We are doing 1555. And we got Cash App, we got Venmo. Hey Jen, I'm doing good. I hope you're doing good too. We got Cash App, we got Venmo. You guys, you always know that you're allowed to drop down any collective questions that you have. You know. Woo! I don't know what that was. But keep in mind, collective questions are questions that do not require me to feel into you specifically, but just more general in nature. You know. You guys are always welcome to share a win in my room. That is not a problem. We do that all the time. And if you're new here, feel free to say hi. Doing your best. Dude, but that's all you can do, though. Like, honestly, that's all anybody can do is their best. You know what I mean? And when someone says they're doing their best, you know, whether it's us or somebody else and you think it's not good enough, you gotta ask yourself why. You know? So if you're doing your best, and that's all you can do. That's all you can do. That is all you can do. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope everyone's having a good day. Feel free to smash that screen. Feel free to share the live. Say hi in the comments, you know. I'm hoping that we could get past the little TikTok void. Tell you what, the energy's been up down today. You know it? Woo-wee. I don't know. I just think a lot of people are coming to terms with some things right now, you know what I mean? About themselves, about others, about their past, about their current situation. And I feel like a large part of the collective is really asking themselves some tough questions right now. What do I want? Where am I going? What have I been doing? What did I do for the last year? Even though this really isn't like a... I don't know, even though like this isn't any like, I mean, it's a special day, but you know what I mean? Like it's nothing super crazy, you know? A lot of people are in that 1 year review, you know? Depending on how long they've been ignoring it. You know, they could be in that lifetime review right now, you know? No, I don't typically do free readings unless I'm called to, you know, and my spirit team just kind of decides to start talking on someone's energy. Everything's paid right now. Reads are $15.55 today. We have Cash App and we have Venmo. I'm here, but I got you on mute. I'm watching wrestling with some friends. I'm here, but I got you on mute. Okay, well, all the love, Miss Caelia. Keillia. You know? I hope everyone's having a good day, though. Where is this yawning coming from? Is somebody in this room tired? I was not yawning before I hit that live button. Not even once. This is like the third or fourth time. And I don't necessarily know what is going on. I want to say somebody slept on themselves. We're gonna go collective. I know I'm being everything's so odd today. This is the choppiest start to any live, but we're gonna do collective. So if you're in this room, go ahead, tap that screen. You know, Denise is my friend. Steve, my person. Thank you for the share. So I can't feel into what Steve's doing, but I can feel into what is happening. I can feel into your energy and what you would need to know about the relationship. So I can do like a love and relationship read and stuff like that. All reads are paid today, and it is $15.55 if you would like one. But I can't pull on somebody's energy without their permission. So I can tell you what you need to know about the read. I can tell you maybe who this person is to you, but I can't tell you what they might choose to do with their free will. I'm exhausted from the eclipse energy. I don't know what, like, I've honestly been pretty fine for the most part. I feel like I have, in general, some pretty good practices, you know, to keep myself on the up and up. The second I push the live button, like I'm doing right now, I don't know what is going on. I don't know what is going on. I'm not even tired. Like, I'm not even tired. Welcome in, Patricia. How's it going? Like, I'm not even tired. I have no idea. But we're going to pop off into collective because, I don't know, I just don't really know if I want to wait anymore. So please tap that screen. Please continue to share the live. Feel free to drop collective questions in the comment section. The list is open. We're doing $15.55 today. We got Cash App. We got Venmo. You're doing good? That's good, dude. That's good. Everyone should be doing... What is happening? What is happening? Can we get it together? Everybody should be good. Everybody should be doing good right now. Well, this is any indication of how this is gonna go. No, but I really do feel like with this collective energy, somebody... Oh my god. Tell me someone don't want to go live without telling me someone doesn't want to go live. Alright, here we go. What is happening? Alright, so we're going to pop off with collective here. And then we're going to open the list and we'll roll right into reads, okay? That's just what we're going to do today. Energy's wild. You know, strap in, arms and hands in the vehicle at all times. You know, arms and legs. And we're gonna ride it out. So... right off the bat, I feel like someone's been sleeping on themselves, is the way that I want to say it. They've been downplaying who they are. They've been downplaying what they're doing. And there's something about this Page of Wands energy that's out as a bridge that makes me really feel like someone's starting to reawaken their motivation, is the way that I want to say it. It's not even just their inner flame. It's not even just their passion. It's literally their motivation to do anything about it. Because there was almost like this sense of kind of having given in, having thrown in the towel, and having just kind of settled, is the way that I want to say it. And it's not even in a relationship. It's literally just in life, having settled in life. As we're talking about settling, we have the Emperor out here who's all about structure and all about just finding that stability. And there's just somebody out here who's been striving for stability, but they've almost been sacrificing themselves for it, like accepting less than their worth, is the way that I want to say it, in honor of stability, is what I want to say, in honor of stability. That's why I have my Magician upside down. It's like you've lost yourself for a second. But I want to tell you, you haven't lost yourself forever. And the reason I say that is because after this kind of rekindling, this little shaken moment to where like you have to shake yourself back awake is the way that it's kind of coming out here. You're moving through it. And you're moving through it with forward motion. And they're just talking about how your forward motion stems directly from the heart chakra. Your forward motion stems from you revisiting the places and spaces that kind of made you feel less than, that made you assume that you were worth less. And this is talking about healing. This is talking about opening up for the first time. There's a part of this journey that requires your attention on that space, that requires your attention on that area, that requires it for your growth. It is not willing to be ignored anymore. It is not willing to be pushed to the side. It is not willing to be covered up and hid away, is the way it's saying. And somebody here has fought mental battles over their heart. That's the way I want to say it. They fought mental battles over their heart, and they fought it in several different ways. Some ways it's almost been to where you've stayed longer than you should have. You accepted way more or way less out of somebody than you should have while giving way more. And then the other mental battle that comes with belittling yourself on the backside to maybe why you did that in the first place, or that you were making how your heart felt too big of a deal. And that's the way that I want to say it, making your heart feel like it was causing too much of a ruckus and it needed to settle down. Almost downplaying half of you is the way that I want to say it. It's like, shh, we don't want to hear from you right now, shush. And that's the kind of energy we have out here. I got this 5 of Swords in reverse, and it just tells me that you're bridging out of this mental conflict. You're bridging out of this hurting of yourself. You're bridging out of this kind of stuck conflict of the mind that has kept your heart trapped, is the way that I want to say it. This conflict of the mind that has kept your heart trapped. I do have a lot of masculine energy out on my table, but I feel like it's because it's paired so heavily with the mind. Or maybe you're a water sign, I'm going to be real honest. There's a ton of water energy out here too, so you could be a water sign. But there's just something about how because you have dominated in your masculine, because you have done a ton of work while staying in your masculine energy, and you've logically thought and played out everything, they're saying you get a second chance. They're saying you get a second opportunity to do something different, is what they're saying. And they're asking you, are you going to take it? We got the Strength and the Hangman out here as I split this deck in half. And they're just talking about how the perception of what things are is changing for you. And that's why your mind's taking a back seat and your heart's beginning to step up in the lead. And that's why we have you bridging through this Wands. Because your heart's delivering a passionate message and your brain has nothing else to do but to listen to it. And that's a first for those who have been in their, I almost said ride or die, that's not what I meant, but who have been in their fight or flight, who have been in their grind, who have been in their, I need to be always alert and ready. I got this Wheel of Fortune card out here, and they're just talking about how today, moving into the next couple of days, is the way that they're saying it. The next couple of days when energy is at its peak, so I'm assuming they're talking about the eclipse, no surprise, but they're talking about when energy is at its peak, you get a redo. And they're not necessarily talking about any person coming back. They're talking about you. You get a redo with how you talk, how you love, how you communicate with yourself. You get a redo. Because they're bringing everything right front and center for you. And you can either embrace it, and I almost want to say do the opposite of everything you've done thus far as how you interact with you, how you listen to you, which way you move, what you choose to do. If you shut your heart off and you listen just to your head, they're asking you to do the opposite. They're asking you to revisit all those spaces and places that are coming up right now, because if it's coming up right now, that's exactly where you need to look. And your redo goes with doing something different, because that's the know better, do better. Because they're just talking about how a large part of this collective, weren't we just talking about big changes, big opportunities? The large part of this collective here is focusing on that inner journey. We literally have the letting go of the past card. We literally have the Four of Coins here. And don't be fooled if your throat chakras start to clamp up and you feel like you can't take it anymore and you feel like you can't speak out your throat. It's there to show you in your light body just how much resistance you've been holding on to, just how much has been holding you back this whole time, and you've let it. It's not going to be comfortable to do, but it needs done. It's not going to be comfortable to do, but it needs done. Your truth needs spoken. Your feelings need felt. As I split the deck on communication, stop. As I split the deck on communication, your second chance is coming in hot. It is. And it's not coming in the form of a person. It's coming in the form of strength. It's coming in the form of death and rebirth and healing for self. It's coming in the form of belief in self, trust in self, because there's a layer here of expression that just hasn't been able to happen yet. That's why I got my healing card out as a bridge. There's a layer of expression. There's a layer of expression that you're busting through right. Healing card out as a bridge. There's a layer of expression. There's a layer of expression that you're busting through right. There's a part of this precipice energy. There's a part of this build up. There's a part of this crescendo is the word that they're using. Crescendo that's happening. That you can't wait to act on. The World and the Star. The deck splits today are wild. The World and the Star card. That you can't wait to act on. Because your soul feels it. And your soul doesn't feel amped up. Your soul doesn't feel the chaos. Your soul feels the peace that comes after the precipice. And it's here for the ride. And it's here for the ride. So the cycle you're breaking is the cycle of self. Don't get it twisted. The cycle you're breaking is the cycle of self. And it starts with how you communicate and talk to self. It starts with how you deal with self. I got my Ace of Swords out as a bridge after our healing card out here. You're starting something new and you're regaining control. But you're doing so from a heart center. You're doing so from a soul essence. You're doing so from a light body perspective. You're not gaining control from the driver's seat of your brain. You're not gaining control from your forcing things to happen, from your I need to control like era. No, you're doing it through your flow state. You're doing it through your heart epicenter is the way that I want to say it. And I just witnessed the craziest thing that just happened with my incense. It literally it's burning, and it just shot forward a little blip of smoke. While the smoke's still like this, it just straight forward a little puff of smoke like a cannon. And it's just launching me back to that message from earlier before, like being pulled back like an arrow to be launched forward. That was wild. But anyway, your Empress here is all about how you're rebirthing a new beginning. So it's another death rebirth, but it's your creation. It comes with inside of you this time. It's not outside of you. It's coming from you. And there's just a piece and part to oneness here. There's a piece and part to putting things into action. I have the coming together of our grounded feminine and our emotional masculine. And while a lot of people want to take it as an outside love message, take it how it resonates, go for it. But I'm going to be 100% honest. This is a flip for your inside energies. My King of Cups here is flipping your analytical masculine energy, your brain, your thinking, your fight or flight, into its emotional brain. Grounding our intuitive, in the sky, feminine, and placing her roots in the ground. That's how we balance out the confusion that was just in our light bodies before, earlier in the read. After the healing, this is who you embody. After after the healing through the eclipse, this is who you embody. Now, I just think that there's so much. They're just talking about that. They're like talking about how so much goes in to what you do and who you are. They're being very deep. They're being very deep with it. So much goes into who you are and what you do. And they're just kind of talking about right now, you're almost straddling the fence. You're aware that one thing no longer serves you, but there's just a little bit of darkness still on the path ahead of you that makes you wonder if that's the road you go. That makes you wonder if that's the road you go. And I feel like even though we haven't gotten a hangman, there is a little bit of pause energy in this. There is a little bit of, I almost want to call it hesitation. I just feel like you don't want to be wrong. I feel like that's your brain though, trying to outweigh your intuition, because I don't feel like you're wrong. I don't feel like you're wrong. Okay, I literally love when cards come out as a confirmation, guys. Literally the time to heal card. Between two worlds, as we just said, you were straddling fences. The path yet to go grows lighter. It just doesn't get any better than that. And it's the time to share. But that's the coming together card. That's the learning you don't have to do it alone card. And sometimes the hardest thing that we do on our healing journey is we think that we have to isolate from everybody, and we think that we can't be surrounded by people who are supportive or loving, and that's just not the case. And they're just talking about how you're kind of moving on to the phase where isolation is not what we're doing right now. We're almost breaking out of isolation for the good of ourselves, is the way it feels, especially because on the inside you've isolated your emotions, your feelings, away from everybody, including yourself, for a long time before this. Got the World card out here for completion. As we move in through this energy in the next couple of days, guys, Star card on the bottom with the Hierophant. Stop. Jesus. We're doing some serious lesson learning over the next, they said a couple days, and they were talking about peak time, and we all know they're talking about peak energy being the eclipse and being that big event, but they're just talking about almost sitting down and not being swept away in the chaos of everything, and everybody's saying how chaotic everything is, and they're almost telling you to like transmute, and I want to use the word alchemize, but to make it work for you, because they're just talking about precipice energy being a perfect time for transformation, being a perfect time for flipping your scripts. And I'm physically getting images of people sitting like down to like physically meditate during like the peak energy. They just keep saying peak energy, like they're not even using the word, just peak energy. So maybe that peak energy is slightly different for everybody. But when you feel, they're saying like activated almost. This is so weird. I hate when we get like cryptic on lives. But like when you feel that like rush, that flow, that influx of energy through your body, they're almost showing me like a person sitting down and getting to the core of it and like kind of sitting with it on the inside. That's a weird way. I know that's tough, but they're talking about like sitting with it on the inside to help facilitate that they're using the word urge, that urge of the forward movement. And they're just talking about how your true journey is just beginning at that moment, is the way that they're saying it. And they're using the word your true journey. Your true journey is beginning at that moment. I just really feel the need. Split the deck on another Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is coming to me as connection. It's not coming to me as the mind in that aspect. Right off of your true journey, it's really pulling me back to connection. Abandoning everything you know and taking a purposeful pause. Abandoning everything you know and taking a purposeful pause. That's weird. I almost said perfect. That's interesting. But taking a purposeful pause after we're just talking about meditating at peak energy. That's weird. That's weird. I hope everyone's having a good night, a good Sunday night. I hope the energy is not doing too many crazy things for you guys. I'm going to scroll back through all of these comments. And see what we have going on. The list is open. We're doing $15.55 for reads today. We have Cash App, we have Venmo. Everything is in the link tree in my bio up there. If you can't access it through the link tree, don't freak out. Don't worry. It's ChildOfBalance. No underscores, no spaces. It'll have our bird logo on it so you know you're sending it to the right people. Don't stress. No worries at all. I'm going to scroll back through here. I hope everyone's having fun, though. I hope the energy's working for everybody. Shruthi! I'm going to scroll. Hold on. Welcome in. How's everybody doing? Today? Well, thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you for the rose. Thank you. Keys, I see you. Can I get a love reading? Jade, yeah, you totally can. I'm upfront about love readings because they work in that dirty flirty line of being in your energy and not in your energy. We have to focus your love reading in your energy. So it's what do you need to know, or what do you have coming in, or is this in your greatest, highest good? I just can't tell you what somebody else is going to do with their free energy or their free will or anything like that. But as long as it's in your energy, we can totally do it, and that's not a problem. You know? Shadow, how's it going, dude? How's it going? Oh, Jesus. All right, well. Okay. All right, well, say hi to you and Polly, I guess. That's interesting. All right, well, what's up? Hey, huge fan from New Jersey. Thanks for going live tonight. Hey, huge fan from New Jersey. What are you guys all having, like a TikTok party? Is that Kenny? Is that you? Is it Kenny? Is that Kenny? That's wild. Welcome in, guys. Hey, Miss Stacie, thank you for the follow. It's either in the Linky Bob tree, Miss K, or it is or you can just type in the name, no spaces, no underscores. It'll come right up. Welcome in, Shruth. Okay, Miss Stacie, hold on. Let me write your name down, dude. And I'll check spaces in just a hot second. No worries. Spiritual senses. Hey, how's it going? Dude, I hope last night when you were doing your business thing, I hope everything went well, dude. Thank you so much for the gift, Leo. Your advice helped me a lot. When you gave me that reading, I went live without any expectations, and it was great. Dude, that's so awesome. That makes me so excited. I'm just glad it helped in one way or like another. No worries. Soplinger, what's up, dude? Alright, hold on, Kay. Let me put you on the list, dude. Alright, I'm gonna go check spaces. I'll be right back. Just keep in mind, guys, if you did pay for a read, we go in order how they come in. And all the reads are posted to our YouTube channel afterwards, and they're time-stamped, and they're dated. So if you ever want to go back and re-listen to your read, it'll always be on YouTube with your first name, you know. So, really did, because I'm always in my head and your advice really helped. It helped me stop blocking myself as much as I was. Just wanted to come in and say thank you. Oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. And don't worry, we've all blocked our own self and stood in our own goddamn way for far too long. Like, so it is okay. It's totally okay. Alrighty, I'm back, guys. So I have Miss Stacie and Miss Caelin on the list. I have Miss Stacie and Miss Caelin on the list. I hope you have a great night, dude. Use the energy to your benefit, bro. Alright, Miss Stacie. As we're going through this, guys, keep in mind you can always drop collective questions down in the comment section. Collective questions do not require us to feel into you. And in between reads, we may answer them as we scroll through the comments. So feel free to drop them down. They're more general if you have a topic or a question about spirituality or something in general. Or you just want to share a win because maybe you just don't have someone to share a win with. You can always do that. Not a problem at all. Miss Stacie, are you here, dude? And if you are, welcome, because I've never read for you before. You have you have an option. You can either do a question or a topic, or we can just do a general. Welcome in, Rooted. Will the people coming after me stop, and will everything turn out in my favor? We can pull on it if you want to. That's not a problem. We can do it. We can do it. Alright. We got Miss Stacie reading in progress, and then we got Miss Caelin on the list, and then the list is open. We're doing 1555 for reads today. We got Cash App, we got Venmo. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for all the likes, the taps, and everything else. Hey, it's totally up to you, Miss Stacie. It's completely your read, dude. So we can steer it with a question or a topic, which I'm perfectly fine with, because that question is pretty much in your greatest, highest good. You know what I mean? Like, what do I need to know about people? You know what I mean? Or we can just do a general. It's up to you, whatever you would prefer. So just let me know which one you'd prefer, you know? Generals are like what you need to know. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. We'll do the question. So your question, we're gonna cut it in half as not to confuse it. So we'll do the first part, and then we can attempt to do the second part, you know? I just always tell people when we try to project into the future, there's a big risk in doing it, in the fact that everything's pulled on the now moment, in the now energy. So should someone's choice or decision change, your choice or decision change, it has the potential of changing the future, but we can give a general outlook based on current present energy. But we'll do the first part first. Will people coming after me stop? So we can do that. Never mind. Let's do general. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Okay. All right. So you just want a general. Let's just double check this. You just want a general. You just want to wing it from the hip. You want to do a general. What do you need to know? I'm scared. It might change. Yes, let's do general. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. All right. Here we go. Are you an anxious person by nature? And I mean that in the best way possible, because there's a little bit of agitation that's kind of coming through just as I'm shuffling before we even get into what cards hit the table. And maybe anxious is like a bad word, but it almost hits me as kind of almost this nervous energy, but also being just a little bit shy at the same time. It's like a nervous, shy energy almost. And not fully owning space in your energy, not fully feeling into like your whole self. I almost get the feeling like I almost kind of want to sit in the corner. Like I almost want to sit in the corner and almost not be seen. And maybe I only talk when I'm talked to, kind of an energy. And it just makes me feel like church mouse quiet, like very quiet. And almost like I'd prefer not to be noticed. Like if I could not be noticed by anybody, maybe that would be the best thing possible. But then I feel like the energy is very playful, and I feel like the energy is a very kind energy in the fact that you maybe have like a group of friends that you can like count on your hand, and around those people, you have no problem expressing yourself. Like that's the way that I want to say it. But it's almost like if all eyes were on me, I would die internally. Is the way that energy feels 100%. If all eyes were actually on me and somebody was like, quick, it's you know, it's up to you. It's like frozen in like internal fear, like closed up, locked away, like, and it's almost that I feel like almost that you don't trust yourself is the way that I want to say it. Almost that you don't trust yourself in accomplishing things. And I really want to leave that open-ended. I really want to leave that so open-ended in like accomplishing things. Like it's almost like the idea that don't give it to me, give it to anybody else, but don't give it to me, because if you give it to me, I'm going to do it wrong, or I'm going to mess it up, or like it. And it's almost just like, don't pass the ball to me, don't do it. And they're kind of underlining this kind of belief in self that needs addressed. And I feel like your guides are doing eyebrow. You can't see my eyebrows because my beanie, but I feel like your guides are doing eyebrows over here, and they're kind of like, and I feel like they're pointing you towards right now that this is something that they would love for you to work on at the present moment. Like at the present moment, like you're like, holy hell, your chest, dude, like your chest, girl. My God, it's like you're shallow breathing, and I'm getting a deaf tone in one ear and a ringing in the other, to where this must be really hitting home, because it is like shallow breathing to where it's like I'm like almost like a panic attack in like a way is the way that I want to say it. Almost like a panic attack to where it's like, okay, like, and I'm gonna be real honest. They want you to start pulling, they want you to start kind of pulling that apart and where that begins, because that type of a level of agitation within self, or a dis-ease within your energetic body, is what causes the physical symptoms within your actual body. It's your nervous energy, your agitation, and almost that ping pong that you do that gives you kind of stomach issues, that gives you pressure on the back shoulder blades, not the top of the shoulders, but like actually on the upper back. And it's partly to do with the breathing, but it's partly to do with the constant state of like fight or flight fear that your energy is like stuck in. Like, I want to say stuck in. I don't even want to say, like, it comes in waves. Like, it almost feels like it is a complete paralyze. When it does come in, it floods the scene, is the way that I want to say it. So they're pointing that out right off the bat before we even, like, really get into any cards. Oof. I feel like that ripples into everything. Like my heart space is super tense. My throat feels almost dry. Like it doesn't feel like I feel like I need to keep swallowing to keep it, I'm going to use the word moist, to keep it moist. And I can feel like I can hear someone giggling, to keep it moist. And I feel like that is the number one cause of your imbalance energetically, is the level of anxious energy that you house within your body at all times. At all times. It's not even just a moment like in time. It's like you walk around in like a constant state of angst almost, to where it's hard, dude, for you to get through the day like without having these influxes. And then you pair that with your overactive mind. It is one of the recipes for you for disaster, because you are so much, I don't want to call you even worst case scenario kind of a person, but you're just so heavy in the thoughts, so heavy in the brain function, the brain power, to where it's like it never just stops. It never stops. And you balance between, did I say something right? Should I say something? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should. Should I do this? What decision should I make? I don't know. What if this? What if this? And you almost what if yourself into like a knot. And the more your brain gets going, the more your anxiety picks up. And it's almost like it doesn't matter which one starts first. They both continuously amp each other up. Like it's like a game of ping pong where like nobody's actually trying to win. We're just knocking the ball around. Like almost like those badminton games you used to play in gym, you know? Like no one's really trying to win. And then it just ends up being sent like up and down, up and down. And if you ever feel stress headaches, if you ever feel, they're saying the word fatigue, so maybe you just have more energy fatigue than anything, that would be the main cause of it. So they're talking about part of your healing journey. Part of your healing journey being your pause. And not pause in fear, not paused in fight or flight, but purposefully paused. Pausing with a purpose, because your pause is your patience, but your pause is to bring you back, like to snap you back into reality almost, because there's a part of a sanctuary of the mind that you've created, is the way that they're saying it, like a sanctuary of the mind that you've created, to where like that's your safe space. But it's not really your safe space, because when it gets triggered with anxiety, then it starts giving us like a horror house, is the way that they're kind of making me feel like it's a clown house up there sometimes. So the carnival turns night, like it's nice to live in the carnival, but then all of a sudden when it gets like midnight, the carnival looks kind of scary when all the lights come off. Like that's the way that it's kind of being shown in like a weird way. So they're just talking about your pause for you and putting roots in the ground is going to be extremely helpful to bring you back into present day and to bring you back into the present moment, so that you're not lost up in the headspace, so that you're not lost up in like quite literally a hell of your own design, is the way that I want to say it, like quite literally a hell of your own design, because you know exactly, like you're super smart. Like I hope you realize this, the way that you have to be super smart for your brain to fire at the rate that it does to create what it is for you energetically, you're wicked smart. It's just that that's almost like your biggest hurdle, is you're too smart. You outsmart your common sense. And then when we can't simmer down and settle down, transmutation, when we can't simmer down and settle down, what ends up happening is that you just get wound up like a top, bro. Like a straight top, straight to the moon. Like I feel like if you had one of those stick things, you'd pull the string and it would just up. And that's like kind of what they're wanting you to do right now, is honestly. So that means we need to get you working with more grounding, and we need you to have you working with breath work and pauses, because as far as your spiritual journey goes and as far as your healing journey goes, that's the best thing to have happen right now. That's the best thing to have happen right now. So it's a focus on self that they want you to do, because there's an immense amount of fear, and fear sits in the root chakra specifically for you. Fear is found oftentimes in our foundation, which is our root. However, for you, it's in your root, and they're taking me like way back, dude. Like they're taking me like back to your childhood. So your child self would be like where your specific fear started for you, as to what prompted your brain and body to kick into survival angst, because that's the way that I want to say it. And they want you, for your healing part of this, to go back there, because there's a foundation that needs fixed, is the way that they're saying it. And I don't mean fixed as in that you're broken. That's not what I mean. I literally mean fixed in the fact that you could relieve some pressure and some stress on you, your feelings, and your light body by going back and addressing some of your core fears. Fears of self, fear of perfection, fear of being seen, that stemmed from like way back. stemmed from like way back. Are you in close proximity to a feminine who's not a nice person? Like, that's the way I want to say it. And I don't mean not a nice person like she's actually out to get you. I mean like not a nice person in the fact that she could be kind of rude, kind of critical, kind of come up kind of, I don't want to use the word abusive. I almost want to say more manipulative, kind of nitpicky is the way that I almost want to say it. It doesn't really feel like super crazy. But there's just something about this feminine energy that you may come into contact with or have to deal with that makes you feel weak. And I feel like that's what they're addressing here, is that you allow other people currently in your current present day to take your strength away. You allow whoever this thing or person is to kind of knock the wind out of your sails, to knock the stool out from underneath yourself, like to kick a table leg or something. And it's just like you allow her to and like suck all the strength out of you, and she makes you feel weak. And there's just a part that you're not replenishing. Quite the words today, guys. You're not replenishing any of that energy. You're not giving back to yourself, and you're just continuously lessening your tank, is the way that they're saying it. And it's leading you right up into your tower moment, because the connecting of the dots all circles around this like a negative, like fiery to the point of being like, wait, like too spicy. A negative, like fiery to the point of being like, wait, like too spicy into your past, dude. I feel like she is one of those lessons that you find on repeat. I feel like she is one of those lessons that change a face, change a place, change a person, but the game is the same, is the way that I want to say it. The playbook's the same shit, different person. And you seem to, like magnets, attract it. And it's because you're putting out that energy, because you haven't completed that part of your inner cycle yet. So you continuously find this type of like shit energy, because it just like a moth to a flame right to you, because that's your lesson. Because the part of this is your inner strength right now. Part of this is your inner stand-up, inner standing for what you believe in journey. And that's part of this tower moment for you. It's not necessarily this tower of crumbling down to the ground. No, it's actually this tower of realization. It's a tower of light bulb, like freaking Groot, you know what I mean? Like, it's this tower of realization that you've been giving your power away, one, but two, you've been allowing it to happen and you haven't been replenishing. So you've almost been adopting how somebody else views or treats you, and taking it on as your own personal fact, and then moving and navigating throughout the world. And if you feel like you're in a moment of a lack of progress or whatever, that could be a cause of it. You know what I mean? Because that's part of your foundations of self. That's part of your foundations. Like, we're not our thoughts. That also means how we perceive the world is not universal truth. How people perceive us is not truth, but also how we perceive people perceiving us ain't truth either. So if you start focusing on your thoughts too much, and you start moving off of your thoughts instead of your heart chakra, instead of your gut and your intuition and these things, because fear keeps us stuck, that's when you've been limiting yourself in life a ton, is the way that they're saying it. And are you like it? This is completely side message from whatever we were just talking about. Is there like a guy that like you should probably leave alone, but he's like I want to call your guilty pleasure, but like maybe he's the thing you're attracted to right now, because it's not on my table, but I'm getting like a weird, like they're like referencing this guy that like maybe isn't in our highest greatest good, that maybe we really shouldn't be talking to, or really shouldn't be trying to win him over. But it's almost like we're like attempting to prove ourselves to this gentleman who's not really the most gentle of men, is the way that they're saying it. And there's just something about this masculine energy kind of appearing more as a karmic energy for you to show you yourself and not for you to pine over almost. They're just bringing a little bit of heat of caution to it, to be real honest. I feel like they want something else, so just give me a second. Maybe it's this deck. But it doesn't really feel right. Hold on. Maybe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. If you wanted a confirmation for self-love, we just got the love card out on the deck. Yeah, they just wanted to throw confirmations, I guess. We got the breakthrough card out here, and they're just kind of ushering you through into the next stage, but it's communication and love of self. It's communication and love with self. It's all about that inward right now, and they're talking about how you've kind of allowed fear to kind of rule the roost for a little too long in a lot of different areas of your life. You've been editing yourself a lot, and they're just talking about freeing the part of you that you've been editing. Because there's just something about, these, like, viney cards. Like, there's just something about these viney, like, leaves on this card that just gives me that entangled vibe. That just gives me that, like, how did we get here vibe. To where it's like one thing led to another, and all of a sudden it's like you don't even recognize sometimes who you are or what you're doing. And it just gives me, like, that lack of direction feel. But I feel like that clarity comes with the clarity of self. I feel like that clarity comes with clearing out that fear that keeps you in constant anxiety, bro. That keeps you in indecision. That keeps you in almost like not making a choice. Like, I almost want to say, like, almost not making a choice sometimes. And my team always says, like, no choice is a choice. So we really always have three options, This, that, or no choice is a choice. And they're just talking about how that kind of pause, that like frozen pause, has kept you in that no choice is a choice. And that's why sometimes things seem to kind of be amping up, is the way that I want to say it. So it's a little bit like you're kind of, unfortunately, because you stay in that fear construct sometimes, and that anxiety. I told you, you're really smart. But when you visualize so much, and when you reaffirm so much with all of your being, because your feelings are online, your brain's online, your energy is moving throughout your body in that type of a frequency, when we're talking about even just wavelengths, like a type of frequency, you're literally manifesting it in your 3D. Like, so if you find that sometimes you worry about something, and then worry finds you, it's because you're physically manifesting it. Because our insides are reflected outside of us. Like, that's the whole point of what we do in the 3D. But you are putting so much energy to it, whether you realize it or not. You're like, eat, sleep, breathing it, that they're saying that you're manifesting your troubles in, like, the wildest of ways. And it's sometimes that it almost proves you right, which is even more, like, awful in a way, because then it's like almost like you reaffirm to your thinking brain that you were right, and then it keeps it in that fight or flight mode, is like the way that they're saying it. So it's like you're manifesting on the inside, you're seeing it on the outside, which kicks your logical conscious brain to go, see, I was correct, and then it goes, okay, and it starts forming the pattern to tell your body, you were right, keep doing what you're doing, we knew what was happening. And then it's like this wicked one hell of a creating your own like demise and angst in, like, this cycle. And they're just talking about how this would be the perfect time to do that deep dive with the amount of energy you have going on to just begin to like push through that cycle is the way that they're saying it. Do you have, Miss Stacie, do you have any questions? I'm going to scroll back through your comments because I just don't read them while I'm doing this. But I'm going to scroll back through them. If you need anything clarified or something we talked about, I can totally do it. So just go ahead and ask away. I'm going to just scroll back through. How's it going, guys? Thanks all for being here. I'm a nut. I'm sorry. Oh my God, you're not a nut. Fine, you're fine. I'm going through a lot. Yes, I'm terrified of the world and I'm being ganged up on. And I haven't defended myself at all. Nail in the head. I've always been the first out in dodgeball. Oh my God. What? Yeah, we do all the time. We do dual read Shruti during the week. We usually do it like 1 or 2 days. It's usually Monday through Thursday that we typically will choose at least one time in the afternoon to do a duel. Yes, my doc even said this. Oh my God, how did you know? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. God loves you and is always with you. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. Glad you know he's on my team. You're so spot on. Oh, thank you so much. Moist, stop, Kenny. Oh my God. I knew somebody was laughing in the damn comments. Awful headaches and exhaustion. I can't let anything go and I'm constantly worried and I overthink. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we got to get you grounding then. Incredible, yes, a few of them. Wow, it's the girl coming after me publicly. Seek God's guidance and love because it's unconditional. I do all the time, and I appreciate it. I grew up Roman Catholic. We don't hate God nor Jesus, so you're good. You know, we just let people do their own thing, dude. You know? It's freezing. It's okay. I'm sorry if it was freezing. I post all the lives within 24 hours on YouTube. So if you feel like you want to review, it'll be timestamped in the description. So you can just click when your read starts and you can like scroll through and like hit whatever part you missed. That's why I do it. Just because sometimes the things get real crazy, you know? Oh my God, I can relate. Stop reading my mind. I'm so sorry, guys. But sometimes spirit, like, they'll have you pop in a room to listen to somebody else's read, and it's just supposed to resonate for you too, you know? So it's all good. It's all good, you know? If it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it, you know? I know exactly who you're talking about. The other person teamed with this girl that are all against me and trying to ruin me. Hey, James, thank you for the rose. Thank you. Yes, it's community I'm involved in. It's toxic. I can't get to leave me alone. I avoid and hide. Oh my Lord. Thank you so much for the lightning bolt, guys. Makes sense. What do I do? How do I stop this cycle? Well, I'm gonna be honest, the cycle of the person coming after you, you can't control what other people do. You can only control how it affects you, to be completely honest. You can stand up and you can tell them to shove it if you want to, but that would require a lot of inner strength, and that would require being okay and not caring what they think or what they feel about you. Avoiding it sometimes is the answer, but if you're avoiding it and then you're still looking on social media and still seeing what they post, then you're not really not paying attention to it. You're allowing it to stew. And if you're talking about your mind, I would suggest grounding. I would suggest shadow work, to be really honest, because there's a part of your fear that is lodged in your root chakra. So a lot of root chakra work would help you. And because root chakra is at the base, and because they specifically talked about you and your energy linking back to childhood, with this fear, a lot of times getting our child self to be reintegrated with our adult self, we do shadow work to start breaking apart constructs and fear and things like that. So you can do that on your own by just looking up shadow work with your inner child, shadow work on fear, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. Or if you need like one-on-one help, we do it in a private space, and we can assist you in it if you want it. But the easiest thing to do would be when you feel yourself winding up to stop, do some breaths, seriously turn your focus from whatever you're worrying about to your breath, because it re-stimulates or re-regulates your whole nervous system when you switch your focus to your breathing. So it'll calm down anxiety, and it'll also put, I can't think of the word, I don't know if it's dopamine, I can't think of the word, but it releases endorphins or something like that in the blood and in the body to help naturally regulate what you're doing. And you can pause any time of the day and just switch from, oh my God, I'm worried about this, and start counting your breaths. A lot of times that's a good snapping out of it, depending on how your inner mind works. If it's a negative train of thought, like it has its own voice almost, to where it shit talks you, you can kind of go the other route and tell it to shut up. That would be retaking back your voice. A lot of physical energy grounding, going outside, putting your feet in the grass, working with your light body and your energy. You can do that as well. There's a whole lot available to you, but because it seems as though it's rooted in fear, I would try root chakra first. If you're not getting into shadow work right at the moment, and you want to just do passive things, maybe things that don't require excess work, you can always use frequency. So 396 hertz frequency is a very grounding frequency. It's also the frequency of the root chakra. A lot of times, depending on what chart you listen to, you know what I mean? But you can listen to that literally in your sleep. You can do root chakra affirmations. Those are our I am secure, I am loved, I am stable. A lot of the I ams are the root chakra. That's not all they can be, but it does work with that foundation. So you can do stuff like that. But if you're looking for something passive, I would probably just tell you frequency music or a guided root chakra meditation if you're looking for like some like little practice thing. But day to day, dude, it's going to be a lot of catching your train of thought, and it's okay if it goes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes into your freak out, and then you're like, oh my God, I need to stop. But then you got to stop yourself. You got to tell yourself, okay, that we need to come back. And then I would do breath work. And then the more you catch yourself, the faster and faster it's going to happen. So it's going to go from 20 minutes to 15 minutes to 8 minutes to 2 minutes. And then 30 seconds before you go crazy, you're going to feel your energy winding up. And then you can stop yourself before it even happens. But first, we have to bring awareness to the fact that it happens. You can't fix something without the awareness there's a problem, right? So we have to first train ourselves to catch the awareness that I'm currently in a chaotic headspace. I'm currently in an amplified air energy. I'm currently in, that kind of, my upper dantian is currently heavy. Like, we have to start bringing awareness to it. You know what I mean? So we can layer all of those. We can do one of those, but those are a bunch of things that you can do. And if you need like one-on-one help, we have private spaces. But I usually try to tell people to at least attempt it by themselves first. You know what I mean? Because I can give you the tools, but it's how people utilize it in their daily life. So I always tell people try to attempt it first, and then you can always hit us up and we can sit down and we can do a private hour-long space and give you tools and break through everything, you know what I mean? No worries. I'm just glad it helped, Miss Stacie. So I appreciate you spending your time, your energy, and your space with us, for allowing me to talk to your team and your guides, and I'm just glad it helped a little bit. Yeah, we have a website. You can check it out in the comments, not the comment section. You're in the comment section. Here we go. You can check it out in the link tree. www.ChildOfBalance.com. There's also a slidey feature, because I just put it in. I'm pretty proud of it. There's also a slidey feature that you can view all the services right from the link tree, but I do think the website's cool. I'm kind of partial to it, so. Miss Caelin, are you here? I'm gonna check spaces, guys. I'm gonna check the list. I will be right back, so don't go nowhere. I will be right back. Alrighty. Hey, Miss Caelin. Alright, so I know I haven't read for you before. I was gonna say I don't think I've read for you before. So you can either have a question. You can either do a question read that we can feel into. You could do a topic, or we can just do a general and see what you need to know. So it's totally up to you. Just let me know what you would prefer. Alright, cool. What's your question, homie? Things aren't. What does my soul need to hear? Okay. We could do that. Can you do me a favor? Can you take like 2 or 3 breaths and maybe just like give me permission, like in your little internal voice? Can you like tell your team to let me feel into you? There's like a wall of a little bit of energetic protection that if I could get them to take it down, it would definitely make it easier to read you. Does a lot scare you that you don't lead on to? Like, maybe that's the way that I want to say it, but I feel like it's not even like big things. I don't feel like it's finite big things. I feel like it's like a series of small little things that most people wouldn't think were like super important, but I almost want to say that you pick up on them. And then sometimes it's not even like anxiety. It's just sometimes like I feel like you just kind of stack them. Like I want to grab like a little purse and I just want to place them in there just one at a time. And then before you know it, it's like sometimes you just have like a collection of little tiny fears. Like that's the way that I want to say it. Just a small little wee collection of tiny fears is the way that I want to say it. I just feel like I keep hearing like things aren't as bad as they seem. Like I feel like I just keep hearing that in the back of my head. Things are not as bad as they seem over and over and over again. And I feel like this is something that your soul actually might need to hear you say, because it's like this part of this little wee bag of fears that, and I'm not sure why we're doing the weird accent, but the little wee bag of fears that kind of feels that we carry it and we never unpack it, is the way that I want to say it. And I almost want to say, because you are the way you are and because your brain works at the level that it does, it almost makes me feel like we downplay these fears. Like it almost makes me feel like we don't give them a place to exist because they're not allowed. Because I'm smart enough to know that they don't matter. But your team is saying in your energy, they matter. When it comes to your emotional body, your light body, they matter. And because you're not letting them go all the way, and because you're still hoarding them in the best way possible, because you're still hoarding them, that's where a big disconnect is for you specifically. But let's see what you need, what your soul needs to hear with some cards. excuse me. You need to seriously put down some burdens, dude. Like, you need to let them go. You need to seriously start unpacking some of your go energy, some of your masculine energy. And you can have masculine energy. We have masculine and feminine energy inside of us at all times. But your masculine is your logical. Your masculine is your hurry up and go. And they're just talking about right now, it's like you're kind of moving through this process of transformation, because I have my tower out here as a bridge, and bridges are always in the process of occurring. And they're just talking about this huge, big event that's coming up that's going to completely change your paradigm, is the way that they're saying it. And you can take it to be the wedding if you want. They're not using that word. You know, I'm not really even sure that they're talking about that, but I feel as though that might be where you would naturally head, the way that I just said that. But I don't necessarily think that's it. I think it's because it's something else that changes everything. And there's a part of letting go of, like, almost of this feeling of, like, stagnancy. I feel like because after this tower moment, it's going to be anything but stagnant, is the way that I want to say it. And there's just this level of stress that comes with being you. And that's the way that I want to say it. There's a massive level of stress that comes with being you. Like, existing for you is stressful. Like, going to work for you is stressful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just getting up, putting makeup on, taking the dogs out is stressful. And there's just like this part of a constant level of burden, and I feel like it's a family burden that you hold and you don't really tell a lot of people about. I feel like it's this, and that's where the masculine energy comes in. I'm going to be real honest. It's this need to provide. It's this need to step up, and it's this need to be the one who gets it done. But they're almost kind of talking about how that's kind of woven into, I just keep seeing like these little threads, like someone's weaving together things, and it just makes me feel like that's like your kind of your controlling nature, but not in a bad way, just in that way of, in the past, maybe you learned that if you didn't do it, it didn't get done, or if you didn't do it, it didn't get done correctly. Maybe that's the best way. Like, why do I rely on people? Because they fuck it up. Like, that's the way that I want to say that. Why do I rely on people? Because they fuck it up anyway. And there's just a level of, if you can kind of overstretch yourself, if you can do far more than, I want to say, the average person, if you can do far more than the average person, then you are the one providing stability for your family. That's the way that I want to say it. And you can deem your family to be whatever you want. Whatever comes to mind when I say that, it would be what we're talking about here. But there's this level of duty, like duty boundness, that comes in, and it's actually the form of which you show love. Like, I want you to hear that. That's the form of which you show love. By like, kind of trying to make everything okay and be in control, but it's also how you protect things. Because if you can create with duty stability, then you're doing it correctly. Like, that's the way that I want to say that. If you can create through what you physically do and the burdens you carry stability, then it's almost worth it. Like, you almost justify that ends justify the means for you, is the way that I want to say it. But they're kind of talking about it's like kind of twofold. It's like almost not enough time spent on yourself in the way of being actually beneficial. Like, it's like bare minimum energy, to where not bare minimum for others, but bare minimum for self. And there's like a huge impatience that is like circling around you almost at all times, because you want what you want when you want it. And a lot of people want what they want it. And because you are a worker, because you do sit in this masculine energy of providing sometimes, it's almost as though you're kind of seeking, I don't even want to say instant gratification, but it's just like, you're like, all right, I did it, let's go, like, have it here now, like, and you're so ready for the next thing that you almost forget to pause in the moment. Like, you almost forget to pause in the moment and like take it all in, is the way that they're saying it. Like, you're so ready to come out just victorious and just to be in that, like, I'm gonna stand up for me, like, fuck them, like, kind of an energy that they're kind of calling you into your feminine a little bit. But as much as your femininity might not be the most fun for you because it would have to push you into a calmer state, I do feel like you're attempting to work on it, whether you realize it or not. But I feel like there's a part of emotional stability to your feminine that is still a little bit of a struggle. Because there's still something about a grief of a loss, was what I was going to say. There's still something about what is happening? There's still something about a grief of a loss, not sure what we're greasing, but a grief of a loss that has yet to be fully dealt with emotionally, is the way that they're saying it. And I like feel, I almost want to say it came out of nowhere, like that's the way that I want to say it. I want to say it came out of nowhere. I like feel, I almost want to say it came out of nowhere, like that's the way that I want to say it. I want to say it came out of nowhere to fully sit in, like, I don't want to use the word turmoil because that's such a weighty word, but like there's just that moment of like, that you almost didn't allow yourself to fully have. And they're just talking about how even though your day-to-day body feels fine and you might not think of whoever this person or this place or this event or energy is, like they're kind of showing me like your heart space specifically, and it being walled up, like it being like so many locks, so many doors, to where like almost you forget which key goes where, kind of a thing, and you kind of forget what you locked away sometimes. And there's just a part to the emotional feminine that they want you to kind of almost revisit, but they're kind of reminding you that it doesn't have to be so serious, because there's just something about the seriousness that they're kind of talking like they're saying it in a weird way, like you're mentally trying to get past being so structured, is the way that they're kind of saying it. Like you're mentally trying to get past being so structured, and you're trying to bridge into, I want to almost say like creative flow state is the way that I want to say it, so that you're not reliant on so much stability and need for structure. I get it to be more going with the flow, and they're just kind of reminding you that your feminine energy does not have to be all emotions. Your feminine energy does not have to be sadness, despair, and everything all the time. But they're just talking about how in the heart space, it's quite literally like someone punched you in the chest, and then every once in a while someone flicks you there and the bruise never heals. Like that's the way it comes across, but it elicits dis-ease in the body. And dis-ease, this must be a trend today. Dis-ease is going to be reflected in physical symptoms in other ways. But they're kind of talking about how you can use your femininity in a fun way, so it's not boring for you. You can use your femininity in a sparking your interests way, with not only creativity, but they're kind of also pulling in spirituality, in having fun either with your intuition or I almost want to say the moon cycle, and I'm not really sure why, but I want to say the moon or the stars or something, blah 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 blah. But they're just kind of talking about pulling in other things that would be dealing with your feminine that you might see fun to help balance out some of the weightiness while unpacking things, is like a weird way of saying it, but like while unpacking things. Okay, that's just funny. We were just talking about the moon, and the moon card comes out, but the moon's all about cycles. It's all about masks. Like, one of my favorite things is like who you are before the world told you who to be, like, and that's that type of an energy, but that's also your authenticity. And they're just kind of talking about how like you're resilient as fuck. Like you're resilient. Like you fought your battles. You've been here. You don't let anything knock you down for too long. But that's also your fight or flight. That's also your get up and go. That's also your masculine, who needs to wave his sword around to cut everybody, but then he ends up cutting himself. So there's a part to this mask and unmasking of self that pulls in this feminine energy that is yet to be revealed is the way that I want to say it. The Page of Cups is all about the emotional messengers. The emotional messengers. Jesus. And it's your internal decision, because they're just talking about with this Four of Pentacles out here that you're physically holding on tight. Like, my Four of Pentacles card is always holding on tight, like keeping things close to the chest, not wanting to let it go for fear of you know, somebody taking it or it slipping away, and it's just, they're talking about like that. They're kind of saying it in a weird way, and I don't want you to take offense to this, but they're saying it like almost in like having been mishandled in the past is the way that they're kind of saying it, like because people have sometimes dropped the ball and mishandled you or your energy or specifically your love when it comes to you, to the where you almost always didn't always feel the reciprocity or the abundance of love coming back and forth in the channel, and it almost kind of comes to the point where you've rationalized love, like you intellectualize it, as I'm getting like TMJ pressure. You're like rationalizing love, and sometimes you don't always feel loved. Oh my God, that hurts so bad. It's like TMJ pressure on my left side. But they're just kind of talking about how they want you to kind of start flipping your emotional switch on again, to where you know you're loved and you feel loved and you feel secure and love of yourself, not even just by other people. And there's just a part to this that we have to kind of override our ability to go, I think I feel, or you know, well, what do you feel? Well, I think I feel. And they're talking about how you sometimes rationalize your feelings too much, to the point where you don't actually feel them. You just allow your thoughts to understand them instead of understanding them. And there's this part of this devil energy of being kind of where we trap ourselves, and we sometimes don't see the way out of what we're currently doing, or the spaces and places to make ourselves feel better. And it's kind of that rut energy that sometimes we find ourselves in our emotional body or our light body kind of going through the day and just clocking in, clocking out, doing like, and it's almost like so much repetition and no zest kind of a thing. But they're just kind of talking about no longer downplaying yourself, even to yourself. I want to do this deck. And then I want to do sassy cards, because I really just, I don't know, the sassy cards are looking at me. The sassy cards are looking at me. Your team, before I even throw this, is saying it's okay to initially hate the people who mishandled you. Because there's something about not fully feeling a negative emotion, because you understand and you try to see things from other people's perspectives more often than not. But sometimes you don't realize how you're limiting your own perspective on something, because you're showing so much grace that you don't initially allow yourself to express your perspective. So they're talking about how it's okay to initially be like, F you, and then later on come back as healed Caelin and be like, I know why you did that and I can understand, but it still sucked to have lived through, right? But they're saying that first key step in acknowledgement and acceptance of your actual reaction to something is needed. Jesus. Excuse me. My God. Transmutation, dude. You're like all pent up. I feel like your clarity's coming online. I have my blade card out here, and it landed face up, and it's always, to me, talking about my etherical connection and my divine connection, which would be like my divinity, my clarity of mind, my clarity of thought. And it just makes me feel like, left earring. It just makes me feel like there's something about your, not only your mind's eye, but your brain space, to where you're starting to see things clearly. is the way that I want to say it. I want to say like you're starting to see through some of the fog, whether it be brain fog or some of the bullshit in your surroundings. And it's almost like you're starting to clock people in the way of being like, I see you, motherfucker. Like, that kind of seeing through the smoke and mirrors, kind of that dropping of illusion or delusion to the fact where people think they can either pull one over on you, or it's just that you're seeing everything very clearly. Like, I'm hearing that stupid song from, like, Shrek. I can see clearly now. And, like, people are blind mice, you know? But they're just kind of talking about how that's going to continue to come online for you is the way they're saying it. And they're specifically talking not just about, like, your self-clarity, but I have my middle world card out here, and middle world is all about this 3D, this earth. So it makes me feel like and it's a 36, which 3 plus 6 digital root would be 9, and 9 is all about completion. So it just makes me feel like this is you completing out a cycle, and it just makes me feel like this is you completely starting to see with, like, I don't want to say divine clarity, but that's the way that I want to say it, like divine clarity to a lot of things in your surroundings that may have once, like, kind of stumped you, or maybe you fell for. Oh, that was awful. Let's do that again, because that was awful. I'm going to do these sassy cards. Now, these sassy cards require no intuition at all. But I shuffle them like tarot or oracle or whatever. And the teams throw out sometimes some really on-point cards, and there's like 100 of them. And they're just kind of sassy. So, one more time. 3 is a good number. One more time. And we'll kind of just see what it says. Ooh, almost lost some under the table. That would have been unfortunate. Alright, here we go. Some sassy cards. Alright. This one says, fuck what they think. It says, put this card in your pocket and use it as your mantra today, all day, and tomorrow, too, while you're at it. Fuck what they think, fuck what they think, fuck what they think. All together now, fuck what they think. Let freedom ring, fuck what they think for the win. And then this one says, you are not your situation. One of the keys to becoming spiritual as fuck is to define who you are by something deeper inside yourself and further outside yourself than the world you can touch. You are someone even if you're not even if you're not your financial situation, your job, your relationship, or even your body. Find out who that person is and you'll be unfuckable with. Hint, you'll probably have to do some soul searching. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Yeah. So, I'm going to scroll back through all these comments. It's 10:10 on the clock, so if you wanted a confirmation, 10:10. Yeah, so if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them down. I'm going to scroll back through. I'm going to read it. If you need anything clarified, just go ahead and drop that down too, and we'll do it. We will do it. Oh my God, thank you guys so much for all the likes and all the shares. I'm going to scroll back through and see what we're all doing today. See what we're all doing today. I'm breathing. Thankful for this community. Are you channeling my grandparents? It's possible I didn't ask, but I was just repeating it the way it was coming in, and it was coming in an accent. It was coming in an accent, in like a weird way. In a weird way, but, yeah. Welcome in, Jess. Thank you for the follow, dude. I've been trying to rationalize my fear of driving. Maybe it's okay to be scared. Oh my God. Okay, but like, yeah, we can't rationalize things because we're not our thoughts. Our thoughts are the byproduct of energy, either within our auric field or outside energy coming into contact with our auric field, thus eliciting a product that is our thoughts. Our thoughts aren't actually us. I know that's wild to think about, but they're the result of energy coming into contact with us, or our own energy getting triggered or swirling within us, you know. Melanie, is her my soulmate? I don't know, Melanie. I can't feel into somebody else. The wedding. Yes, yes, yes. My tummy hurts. I should rely more on my husband. Well, that'd be nice, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know if he would say it would be nice, but I guess you'll have to ask him. But yeah, I mean, it sounds that way. It sounds that way. Needed this. Who is K Klaus 15? I can't. Is that Kenny? Is that Kirsten? Who is K Klaus? This has been eye-opening already. Oh my god, well thank you so much. I'm glad it helped. On to the next. Paul. K Klaus is Paul? That seems kind of weird. K Klaus, why would he name it K Klaus? Are we sure that's Paul? But my Virgo rising. Thank you so much for the rose. Yes, stay present is extremely important. Thank you for the share. I get Botox for my TMJ. Oh, I didn't know that. Dude, that makes sense because it hurt like a lot, dude. And I sometimes get the TMJ clicking, but it was like pressure, like right, like it was bad. I social work myself. They don't deserve your energy. Well, I'm glad it's helping you too, Miss Allie. Sometimes Spirit will have us present for somebody else's read, and certain parts of it will resonate for us too. I just believe in all divine timing. So whether it's God, Creator, Universe, or whatever, you were meant to hear it. I truly believe that that's what it is when it resonates for you, you know? Oh yeah, the sassy cards, yeah. I put them on the table, and whenever I'm told to grab them, we shuffle them like tarot, you know what I mean? And they just come out on fire. Sometimes it's like a little too harsh, and I have to like simmer the teams down, but like 1,000%. 1,000%. Okay. I was gonna say, hey, it's Paul. What? Kendra. What? Wait, I'm so confused. Is it Polly or is it Kenny's wife, K Klaus? Because I thought K Klaus would make sense if it was like Klaus for Klauser. That makes sense in my mind. It doesn't make sense if it's Paul. That seems very odd. Okay, literally that's what I thought, and then everyone keeps saying it's Paul, and I'm just like, it doesn't really feel like Paul. It doesn't feel like Paulie's energy, and I'm like, like, it just doesn't really seem like it makes sense to me. But do you have any questions, dude? Do you need anything clarified, or anything we talked about before we close out your read, bro? You know? Paul's in the room with us. Okay, alright. So you guys are just all being clowns. Got it. Okay, well, dude, Len, thank you for your time, your space, your energy. Thank you for, allowing me to talk to, do you have a dead grandmother? And I know that came out so abruptly wrong, and I'm so sorry. Do you have a dead grandmother, who would have passed recently, kind of on the shorter side, were you not able to bury her? I feel like I'm getting cold chills. Were you not able to bury her? Or did they cremate? Because, there's just something, like, she's coming super close now. There's just something about, was it, like, to travel to far, like, too, sometimes they speak backwards. Was it too far to travel? Because it almost makes me feel like you missed it. Like it... Because she's like... She's not saying you missed it, but she's like saying it's okay that you weren't there. Like, that's the way she's saying it. She's specifically saying it's okay you weren't there. So I'm not necessarily sure if you actually missed, like, her burial, or if maybe you just missed her passing, or both. Or both. Did you guys used to, like, video chat? Like, physically on the screen video chat? Like, I don't even want to say phone call. I want to say, like, video chat? Because she's kind of just talking about how that was one of the things that, like, she's using the word, like, cherish. That was one of the things she cherished, was your guys' video chats. Is the way that, like, I don't know if she's using the word video, but I feel like I can see somebody, like, FaceTiming or something. I don't feel like it's like a phone to my ear. I feel like it's a phone in front of me. Had she been sick for a while? Oh, I don't think she wants to talk about it. I'm sorry. Maybe she doesn't want to talk about it. Because I feel like when I asked that, she got really far away. Have you been feeling her around a little bit lately? Maybe when you're doing, like, random things around the house. I don't want to say folding clothes, but, like, just some random times, because I am getting, like, I'm, like, seeing in front of, like, a dresser or something, but it's, like, maybe putting clothes in a dresser, if you guys do that. But, it makes me feel like, not all the time, but it makes me feel like every once in a while she pops in, and it makes me feel as though you almost, like, pick up on her. Like, I want to say, like, there's just a little tiny shift, and either you have a memory of her, or something just sneaks in that it's like you just kind of drift that way for just a hot second. Like, it's super fast. Excuse me, transmutation. It's just super fast, and it makes me feel like she's just making mention of it to let you know that is actually her when you do that. Did you want something of hers that you weren't able to get? I'm getting cold again. It's making me feel like she either wanted to give you something, or you wanted to get something from her that you weren't able to either retrieve or to have, at least not yet. And she's kind of saying it's okay. Like, I feel like she's saying you don't necessarily need it, but you kind of would have liked to have it. Like, I feel like I can hear, like, almost anything. Like, I would have liked to have almost anything, is the way that it kind of makes me feel. And I feel like she's just bringing mention to that she realizes that didn't happen. That didn't happen the way that she had, like, wished it did, is the way that it's coming across. Like, that didn't happen the way she wished it did. Oh, there's that TMJ pressure again. God damn, girl, go get your shot. Holy hell. She just keeps saying it's okay over and over and over again, like, on repeat. Yeah. So I think she just wants to let you know that she's here and kind of around sometimes, and when you think about her, it's because she's really close to your vicinity, like, energetically. She's present. But she's really talking about like your, I don't know, she's talking about like your like communication. Like like it just makes me feel like you guys either talked a lot or every once in a while, like I don't know. She's making me feel like when it was important, like you kind of touch base or whatnot. But just know she's around you, dude. Every once in a while she pops in, and if you've been feeling lately like she's kind of drifting, like you're not she's drifting, but like you're drifting to her a little bit in your headspace, and stuff like that. It's because she's close to you, dude. It's because she's right up on your butt. Is the way that she's talking about it. I mean, she didn't say that I said that. She did not say your butt, but definitely I did. So, are both your grandparents passed? Like, are they both passed? Because I feel like I can just see this dude hanging in the background. He's not saying a word. But it's just like this. It's like she's like here, and then he's like, like he's not saying a word, like not a peep. He is staring at me though. I don't want to say he's mean mugging me, but like he's staring at me. So they're both there. So if they are, they're together, you know. But he's checking me all out. He's checking me all out, and he's not saying a peep. I feel like does he have like a weird smirk? Like not like a big smile. Like I want to say like I don't know if it's like half a face smirk with like kind of like a shaky eye, but like not in a creepy. I feel like I made him sound really creepy, but I feel like he's just doing a weird like, I don't even want to call it a wink. Like I don't know how to do that face. I don't know. It's like a half a face thing. I don't know how to make it make sense. But I feel like he's just smirking, but I feel like he's like with his arms crossed. So, take that for what it is, madam. But your grandma's here. At least, you know. Does he remind you of my dad? Kind of, but in the best way possible. I feel like your dad might be a little bit more of an oddball, where I feel like this guy might be more goofy. I don't know if that's gonna make sense. Like, no disrespect to either, but I feel like this guy is like more of like a goofy energy into being almost kind of dorky. And I feel like your dad's like that slapstick funny to where it's like, what? Like, you're just laughing because you're like, what did you just say? Kind of a thing. But he's got short hair. I know that. He's got short hair. Or at least right now. He seems to have short hair. I should say that. He seems to have short hair. But I hope that helps, Miss Caelin. But your grandma definitely was not going to let me say goodbye without saying goodbye. To you, or I guess saying hi to you. Well, no, now that sounds shitty. But like saying hi to you at the very least. So I hope that helps. Like I said, dude, thanks for sharing your time, your space, your energy, and for talking a little bit to your grandma. You know, definitely helps, dude. So I hope that helps a little bit. Like maybe just your mind. Maybe just your mind to know that they're both just hanging out. They're both just kind of hanging out, you know? But, dude, my God, you guys are wild. Thank you so much, Kay. Thank you. I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it. Dude, you guys are wild. 24K. You guys are wild, bro. I'm going to scroll back through here. We are supporting you. My dad's mom couldn't travel to Scotland. Was she the wee? Was she the wee in the beginning? Because that would be fantastic. Was she the wee in the beginning? Because that would be funny. You know? But interesting. I'm going to check spaces, guys, and then if nobody else needs anything, I'm going to pop off for the night, and we're probably going to see you guys tomorrow in the afternoon. But I'm going to check spaces, and I'm going to come right back, and we'll see what's what. Alright, guys, so I'm gonna pop off here. I appreciate you all. Thank you for all your support, your love, your likes, your follows, your shares, all the gifts, and all the fun times. But I will be on later tomorrow, around like 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, probably 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we'll potentially do it again as long as everything is operating with the eclipse that's supposed to happen. And I don't know, we might go live during the eclipse. That could kind of be cool, because we're supposed to be totality over here. We're supposed to be completely blacked out where I'm at, so that could be cool. So we might do that. We'll play it by ear. Nothing wild. We'll play it by ear. But I appreciate everybody on here. Thank you so much. I will see you guys later. We have a website if you want to check it out. It's 100% free to join. It is www.ChildOfBalance.com, and it has a free tree of knowledge, which gets updated with articles 3 times a week, touching everything in spirituality, from gods, deities, to breathwork, to grounding, to herbology, crystallology, spiritual practices, some historical prophecies, some cultural prophecies, and just everything almost in between, candle magic and, energetic, astral, just anything possible has the potential to be a topic. So have fun with that. We also have a handmade shop. God, my brain just shut off today. We have a handmade shop. And you get dollar for dollar point system. So if you spend $5, you get 5 points, $10, 10 points, $20, 20 points. And it adds up pretty quickly. And right now it's 200 points is 20% off any service. So if you like what we do here and you like the website and the free tree of knowledge, it doesn't hurt to become a member. 100% free. It never costs you money, and we don't spam your shit. So it just benefits you. It gives you a place to potentially build points, especially if you're one of my subscribers, to either my page, this one, or GL, what is up, dude? Or Miss Keys of Wisdom 369. You gain 5 points for every month you're an active subscriber, and we add that to the website. But I can only add it to the website if you're a member of the website, so you can start logging stuff there. So just keep that in mind. We're also on Instagram, ChildOfBalance 369, and we're also on YouTube. So all the lives here today, all the reads and other lives like it will be posted, dated, and time-stamped for you guys to review. So, thank you so much for your time, your space, your energy, your love, your shares. We got to 25K today, and that's wild. Excuse me. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you for all the love and the appreciation. And I will see you tomorrow about 11:30 Eastern Standard Time.